Talk to the Lightworker hand, because not today. Okay. Whoa, dude. They never said that before. Stay in your lane, honey bun. You're just like, got it. That's a little intense. Hi everybody, I have a really intense channeled message for you guys. I did this meditation on 2/22/22 and I didn't quite fully understand it, and I don't post a lot of stuff. I'm big on quality over quantity, and I want to have something that is meaningful and powerful and helpful. And so I didn't understand it all. I do now. And so I couldn't wait to share this with you guys. For those of you that do not know who I am, my name is Ashley Dawn, and I am thrilled that you are here because it is not by mistake. You clearly need to hear what I'm about to say. And for those of you that don't know who I am and what the heck I do, I am all kinds of things. I'm a medium, I am a Reiki master, I am an herbalist, I do a lot of spiritual coaching, I'm even an author. So I do all kinds of things, and I've essentially devoted my adult life in the aspects of being of service and helping others along their healing journey. So welcome, and for those of you that have been here before, welcome back, my friends. How have you been? It's getting crazy out there, am I right? All right, so I don't want to waste your time. I want to jump right to this right now. Let's go. All right, so the first guide that came through to me was my guide, Leo. He's kind of like my BFF guide. He's been there since I was a teenager. We kind of grew up together, and we're like buds. So I don't necessarily go to him for to help me with a mediumship client when I'm trying to connect with their past loved ones and relay information. I don't necessarily go to him to connect with the Galactic Alliance or anything like that. He's just kind of there, and he is a part of all of the healing sessions I do, and he's just kind of like, like my, spirit guide buddy. So I found it kind of interesting that he came through first. It's a really short message, but it was peculiar to me. Again, I didn't understand half of this on the day that I received this information, okay? So here's what Leo had to say. He's usually cool, calm, and collective, but his energy was a little bit urgent. Like he had this sense of urgency, not fearful, but urgent. He handed me something that looked like a skeleton key, but it was very colorful. And he basically just handed it to me and said, here, you'll know how to use this when it's time. Which sounds completely bananas and unusual, but in reality, in my reality, that's not unusual. I get handed things from totem animals, spirit guides all the time, and they will say something similar. So that wasn't unusual to me. Do I know what it is? No. Do I know how to use it? Nope, not me in this human form. But maybe my light body does, or maybe my higher, other guides do. So anyway, he handed me that, and then he said, we are getting closer to it. And it felt to me like the shift, what we've been waiting for, what we've been training for. It was kind of like, oh, we're getting closer. Like we're getting closer to like whatever this is kind of thing. So I'm like, okay. He said, it's about to be incredibly intense. I am truly sorry for this because it isn't. It was kind of like, man, this is going to suck. That's kind of the energy. So he said, we are getting closer to it. It is about to be very intense. I am truly sorry for this. Remember all that you have learned. Do not allow fear in or for fear to control any of your choices. Remember who you are, shield yourself daily, and know that I am right here with you. So I was kind of like, whoa, dude, that's a little intense. Awesome. Okay. No idea what he's talking about. But Leo doesn't mess around. Like there's been times in my life when like I had my dark night of the soul where your whole life and world gets flipped upside down and everything is chaotic and sucks and it's all for your awakening and all for your growth. But I remember, I'll never forget in a meditation, he showed up in like armor and I'm like, what are you wearing? Why are you wearing armor? And he's like, it's about to get real, and I was like, uh-oh. So the fact that he is normally fun and funny and kind of like outgoing and bubbly and sociable with me, and he came in a little intense, I was like, okay. Again, I didn't know what this meant until now. All right, so that was Leo. And he just said that really quickly and stepped aside. Jay is a guy that I have mentioned before. So now this is my guy, Jay, that is stepping in to deliver this next message. Crazy enough, Jay was actually a human being here in this lifetime who I had never met. So there was a friend of mine, a coworker, her brother had passed away. I didn't even know she had a brother. And she came to see me for Reiki healing, and she was having a really hard time with his passing. And that was the first time I actually had an entire hour where I was talking with somebody who had passed away. It was crazy and mind-blowing, and I had always had little moments where I would get messages from people, from past loved ones, and I would kind of intuitively feel or pick up or see them kind of things, but nothing like, it wasn't like a chit-chatty conversation. This was a full-blown conversation. And one of the first things that he said was that him and I had made an agreement long ago, before we were in human form here, that we would be helping each other out. I would be relaying some messages to his family to help them grieve and heal, and he would also be helping me develop my skills as a medium. Fast forward, you know, like, I don't even know, 6 years maybe, you know, maybe 8, I don't even remember how long ago that was. I'd have to look at my first book. But, you know, fast forward, and now that is a big and significant part of what I do and how I help people through mediumship, through their grief and healing and hearing beautiful messages from their loved ones. So Jay really helps me with a lot of that stuff. So he did mention that he will be a guide that will be hanging out with me forever and ever, but I really depend on him for like mediumship type stuff, okay? So I just kind of give a little backstory. And also, I didn't know that you could have a guide that was actually human, like, and then 3 weeks later, he's like, hey, how's it going? I passed away and we had an agreement, so here we go. Now we're gonna be working together. I had no idea that was a thing, guys. No idea. And I've never even heard of that happening elsewhere. Like, I know that your family members can pass on and then become a part of your team of light. But yeah, I didn't know that. So it's a thing, just so you know. So this is what Jay had to say. And again, it is a little intense, fair warning. The free will choices of others have spoken. Unfortunately, they have chosen chaos. Know that all/most of all of this stuff going on will not affect you. Very little, basically. And he made me feel like maybe the prices of things going up, maybe the intense fear-based energy floating around, well, you'll feel that. You'll feel a little bit of this pressure and anxiety, you know, look back at the last couple of years, like this ain't nothing new for us, right? But he's saying like, it's not gonna like directly cause a lot of problems necessarily for you. But just know that things have gotten intense, right? He said, be prepared as always and continue with the plan. So let me explain. In my second book called Awakened Conversations, this book is about Jay and how we kind of met and the whole story. In that book, he gave specific details. This was 4 or 5 years ago. He gave details on the need for things like food, the need for things like an expectation of things kind of crumbling and falling apart, like healthcare, government, supply chain, and the need to be prepared and like have extra stuff so that you're not fear-based. You're not running around like the sky is falling trying to get a thing of toilet paper when you really should be just like chill and relaxed at home, right? So there was a lot of information in that book. So he's saying like stick to the plan, and the plan was if you're prepared, if you have extra stuff, if you have the roof over your head, you got some food on your table, you got some extra toilet paper, you know, stashed in the garage, you're all right, okay? You're gonna be fine. So he's like, stick to the plan. It's always been that. Nothing has changed, but stick to this plan, right? All right, so he said, be prepared and continue with the plan. Expect big changes in things such as the housing market, supply chains, and basically cost of everything. He said, it is still too early to tell, but there was a lot of fear-based energy in the last couple of years that is going to shift into anger because of the expenses and people having struggles with housing and all kinds of stuff. This fear-based will turn into anger, and there could be things like riots, things such as riots. So, and he said this is actually a good thing because it's making the people realize that this is BS, and they're kind of joining together and being like, we're not going to take it anymore. And again, we're kind of starting to see this, guys. This is like real-time shit. Like, we're starting to see it, right? He's saying, so this isn't, it's not necessarily bad, but it's going to suck, right? Riots, and nobody wants that kind of stuff. But it is the people standing up, right? And that is a good thing. He said, stay out of everything and out of the way. And I think it was kind of like, don't get caught up in the crap. Don't go out there screaming and marching. You don't need to do that. That's not what it's not what your mission is. Your mission is to help people awaken, help them heal, hold space, send love and light, okay? So I do not want to, I don't want to give the impression that that's nothing. That's powerful stuff. That's what the Lightworkers, Starseeds, that's what our mission is here. That's why there's so much going on right now. And he said, expect there to be many truths brought to the surface. He said, continue to stay in the know and out of the way. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So again, a little intense. And he is basically talking about all the things going on right now in the world, all the things, okay? So this is kind of a message specifically to my Lightworkers, Starseeds, healers, you guys that are probably watching this, right? If you're watching this, you're one of those. Just like accept it right now. You're with us, okay? Otherwise you wouldn't have been on this channel and you wouldn't have been watching for this long, right? I would have bored you to death if this didn't spark your interest, right? So this is a message for us, guys. I'm not saying if you feel compelled to like act, you should be doing that, because if you really feel in your heart that that is the best thing for you to do, then you know, knock yourself out. That's totally cool. But for most of us, that's not what we feel in our heart is the right thing to do right now. It's important for us to really see what's happening, and part of what is happening is things are falling apart. You cannot make space. You can't be packed to the rim with things that are broken and not working and want to create new things without things having to be moved out of the way. And so things are breaking and falling apart. Again, this has been happening for a while and we've known this. So there is no need to like run in and be a hero and intervene with some of this stuff. So really just take that for what it is, okay? As always, take it for what it is. So in comes my third guide. This is my guide, Zaya. Now Zaya is this amazing light body being, pretty much badass. Like she is cool, okay? She is a higher vibrational version of myself. And again, you guys should watch some of my videos on like spirit guides and stuff like that, because we all have this very high vibration version of ourselves, our higher selves, right? So Zaya is that. She really helps me to connect and become a part of her when I need to astro travel or connect with like the Galactic Alliance or have like wild conversations with things that aren't even human. And she helps me to do that because I'm just kind of in my human form. And so she kind of gives me a vessel, we'll say, to receive some really cool messages for you guys pretty much. And so this is what she had to say. Now so I want to point out that Leo and Jay had very like human-based 3D information, like this is what you need to do, you know, stuff that's going on right now. Hers is much more up here. Hers is much more spiritual and a lot bigger picture, okay? So this is going to resonate with those of you that have which have a very high vibration. Not that the other stuff has not resonated with you, I'm sure it has, but this is on a whole new level and I'm gonna have to explain quite a bit, okay? So this is what Zaya had to say. So I met her on top of like a hill or a mountain, and I had never met her there before. And she was very detailed. Now I have well, I'll just read it to you first. Okay. So she said, I said, like, where are we? And she said, we're on Mount Shaniva, an ancient holy mountain on the planet of Uvius in the galaxy of Tron. I have no idea what that is, where that is, or how I could ever prove that that is what it is. But the fact that it was so detailed and not what I was expecting, I was like, okay, awesome. Now Zaya is dead on with most everything. So I have just learned, and I'm sure most of you guys, when you channel and talk to your guides, you just kind of learn to roll with it. You're like, you just accept it because you're like, okay, sure, it sounds bananas, but you're just like, got it. So that's where we were. And she said, this is one of the last places anyone would look for us, you know, and not like we were trying to be all like sneaky and hushed, but I feel like she wanted to have this conversation with me in a place that was holy, in a place of peace, and a conversation where, you know, there was no other things going on and it was just her and I. So that's why I think we were there. She continued to say, there comes a time when you must decide between what is easy and what is best for all involved. Now, I know that there's a phrase where it's, you know, there comes a time when you need to decide between what is easy or what is right. And she really hard corrected me and was like, no, that's not, don't write that, don't say that. She said, because what you or a couple people or many people may view as right, if it is not what is best for all involved, it's not freaking right. So I was like, okay, got it, girl. And so she was saying basically, there comes a time when you have to choose between what is easy and what is best for all involved. So that was kind of interesting. All right. She continued to say, you, like many other star seeds, light workers, and beautiful light body beings, have been sent to Earth to do what is best, not what is easy. You are all tired and grow impatient due to your human programming. And she commented on the linear timeline. So let me explain that. This wasn't like belittlement or anything like that. What she was saying is you're becoming impatient due to your human programming, because we are programmed to have this reality based on a timeline where you're born, you grow up, you get old, and then you die. And so there's always this, the clock is ticking timeline, and we have a very small window to accomplish a lot of things, and there's this illusion of a very short amount of time. So we always have this pressure, right, to get up on time and go to work on time and get home on time, and then think time just flashes by and then we die. So we have this amount of pressure that's programmed into us, right? So she's saying you are grown tired and impatient due to your human programming, but we understand that. We understand that you're feeling that way because you're programmed that way. So we understand that this is a part of your biological reasoning, but we urge you to go against that and remember who you are and your mission. Your mission is far greater than this one moment in this one lifetime. So what she's saying is, all of us that came here at this moment and at this time to do our missions, right? All the starseeds, and everybody that is here to be a support, to be a healer, to be whatever, she's saying that you feel like you have this small amount of time, but this stuff is way bigger than just this one Ashley Dawn lifetime in 2022 kind of thing, right? It's much bigger than that. So this is really interesting, and I'm going to have to explain this too. She said, we need you now to fight. Now, I will say, every time that I step over a line, if I ask about things in government, if I ask what's going on with this or that or whatever, my guides are like, sometimes they'll give me information, but sometimes they're like, stay in your lane, honey bun. You are helping to encourage, to inspire. This is healing, to grow, to help people awaken. That is not helpful for you or anybody else right now. It creates fear and chaos and all kinds of things. They're like, don't focus on that. You know, where your attention goes, things, you know, energy grows, and they're like, so that we don't want your attention over here. So usually they're kind of like pushing me away from anything like that, which I don't venture in that direction often anyway. But so it was interesting to me that she was like, okay, we're gonna need you to now fight. And I was like, huh? And she's like, not in a human way. Hear her out, okay? She said, not in a human way. But this is why. She said, for this is an energetic war that goes directly against free will, kindness, love, and unity. This is not new information to you. We know this. But we have been training and awakening and working with many of you starseeds for quite some time for this very moment. You, along with many others, will need to suit up. All right, so I was like, well, they've never said that before. So let me explain a little bit of that. The feelings and imagery that she was giving me was that those of us that go on far, far away adventures when we are dreaming, when we are meditating, you all know that you go on missions in your dreams, in your meditations, and that we have parallel universe reality versions of us that we are all kind of connected with, and there's so many things going on that is so much bigger than just me right here in this lifetime. That's what she's talking about, okay? And there's more to it to kind of explain that further. So this is her encouraging us, you guys. She says, you know your abilities now. You know that you are of light, and you can use light to shield, resist, restrain, defend, protect, and stand for humanity. Notice how she didn't say come out swinging and like sucker punch somebody. That's not what she said. She said, you know how to use the light now. You've been training for this, and you can use it to shield, to protect, to defend, to deflect. You don't need to like fight, right? You just need to be like, talk to the Lightworker hand, because not today, okay? That's what she's saying, okay? She continues, yet this is a war that is much greater than the perspective you are capable of understanding right now in your human form. This is a part of a huge entanglement among many planets, species, galaxies, realities, and timelines. By doing your part, you are a part of a much larger alliance of lightworkers who are fighting to keep the vital balance among all living things. Okay? So what she is saying is, I think what we are seeing happen in here internally, we are stirring, we are awakening, we want better, we know that there is better for us, right? Collectively, things are falling apart, things are shifting, things are changing, people are starting to stand up, people are starting to get angry. You know, there's talks of war and all this, so all this stuff is currently happening, right? And the cool thing, but maybe interesting, is that I started to realize that what she's talking about is what's happening in here is also happening here. So what is that saying? Like, what is it, as above, so below, or you know that phrase? I realize that in every other timeline, in every other reality, in other places, planets, galaxies, there are similar things happening. And I got this image of like this giant, you know, walking around like, and you know, we're this tiny little planet Earth with these tiny little humans, like the size of a little pebble. And so we're like this meaningless little, you know, galaxy far, far away that has nothing to do with this huge, amazing galaxy, right? Like we're so small. But yet, that one little pebble in that giant shoe is going to cause a whole lot of problems. And so it's kind of like, you know, you have this huge, great, vast universe, and we're this tiny little Earth, yet we are still a part of everything. Our choices that we help to heal and grow here, the choices that we do as a collective humanity, as a planet, those will ripple out and they will send out either positive energy and vibes or not. And so I think what she was getting at is, girlfriend, and to all the starseeds and lightworkers out there, what is happening here and here and here is bigger than what you think it is. It's this big. We're talking about, you know, galactic stuff, right? And so I was like, oh, oh, because, you know, I think we feel sometimes like so tiny and small, right? And another point I want to make is we look to our guides for guidance, right? But I want to make this very, very clear to you guys. Your guides, your angels, they do not see you as guides and you. We do that. Okay, we think, oh, my guides and my angels, like I'm so small and they help me and they guide me. And they look at you as equal or greater because we are in this physical human-based reality, which sucks, right? It's hard here. It's based on emotion and energy and it's just really tough, right? This is hard. And so they look at us like, dang, they can do physical 3D reality. They're shifting it through 4D. They're getting to 5D. Stuff is falling apart and they are still like love and light, you know? They're like, whew, girl, you guys, they just, it's some good stuff, right? So they don't look at us like this. Now they're just in a different timeline, reality, vibration. So it feels like it's like this, right? It's not, okay? It's not. And so I needed to remember that myself because when she described like, girl, this is bigger than just, you know, planet Earth. I was like, yeah, you know what? I understand. Like I get why she's kind of pointing that out, okay? All right, just a little bit more. Okay, she continues with, there is much more going on than I can ever share with you and that you would be capable of understanding right now. But trust yourself. You chose to be human here on earth in this reality at this time for a reason. So I find it really funny because she wasn't like, well, just trust me. I'm telling you to do it. Like, I'm telling you now's the time and you know, do all the, but you know, just trust me. She didn't say that. She said, no, girl, you trust you. You are an amazing light body being. You are an amazing starseed, healer, light worker, you name it, right? She's like, why the heck would you have come here to earth at this time to be a part of this bananas that's going on, right? Why would you have done that? You trust you. You signed up for this. There's a reason, a big one, right? And so for those of you that are like, God, why would I choose this timeline? This sucks, right? It does. I hear ya. But there's a reason. Suit up, guys. There's a reason, right? So the last little part here, she says, as always, and I think this is the most important part, you guys, please hear this. As always, this is never information given to alarm or cause fright, but to make you aware of what is truly happening far beyond your human reality. Continue to stay connected to each other. Eat well. Stay healthy, be positive, meditate regularly, and love each other as much as possible. And know your entire team is with you always. Right? Whew, was that not intense or what? Okay, so let me fill in some more stuff. I had that meditation on Monday, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, they're telling me like suit up, you know, scat's about to hit the fan here, you know, like now's the time. And I'm thinking, oh, more, you know, like the sky's falling stuff with whatever, right? You name it, in any direction we look at, and they're like, ah, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, you know. I didn't get it until like Thursday. Now, I will preface this by saying, guys, I don't have news on my TV. I don't watch the news. And I actually do not follow a lot of other similar people that are like spiritual people that do a lot of like YouTube stuff. If I come across the video or someone shares it with me, I feel like if I come across the video, like it is straight up happenstance and I'm like, sweet, I'll look at it, right? That like my guides maybe wanted me to see something, but I don't go like looking for this stuff. So sometimes I'm kind of not aware of what's going on in the real world, right? And so meditation on Monday, come Thursday, I was like, oh, now I understand what they were saying. Now, today it is Friday, the 25th, I believe. And yeah, scat has hit the fan, guys. Scat has hit the fan. There is all kinds of stuff going on. The wheels have started to come off. And now I understand what they were saying completely. Okay? So, but what I want you guys to really hear is the information, this channeled information that I'm giving you and sharing with you guys. I wanted you to feel confident and good in what you've got going on. Roof over your head, food on your table. Get prepared, and that way you don't have to freak out. Like, I want you to feel confident in that, and I definitely want you guys to feel confident in your abilities. You are amazing light body beings. You hold all the answers within you. You guys are badasses, right? You have the light within you. You are a part of the universe. It is literally within you. You have just been awakening and being trained to access it, to consciously access it, right? So you know how to do this, right? We came here for a reason. So I don't want these messages to do anything but inspire you guys and make you feel like, yep, this is it, man. Like, I get it. I know why I'm here, you know? And so, there's a lot of stuff and a lot of reasons out there right now to be fearful. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm telling you guys, don't do it. It lowers your vibration, drops your immune system. You make stupid choices when you're trying to make decisions based in fear. It's exactly what they want. Because the more you are fearful, it drops your energy. The less you feel connected and whole to yourself, the less you can hear your guides. And then you're just scrambling and you feel like you're lost and alone. Okay? So don't do it. Don't do it. Go within, feel the love of all of your angels, your past loved ones, your team of light, I call it, right? Go within and feel their love and embrace and know that you got this. We all got this. We are a powerful community, you guys, and now's the time for all of us to really come together yet again. I know you're tired. I feel like it's been a couple crazy years, but just know we got this, right? We do. So I love you guys, and I hope that you hear this and it hits you in that heart chakra in the best of ways. I want you to take care of yourselves and, you know, ask me questions, comment, anything that you guys, you know, need or want. And another thing I'll point out lastly is just because I gave a lot of dates and timelines to this video does not mean that it won't be relevant later. So if you guys stumble across this video, like, I don't know, a year from now, there was something in this that you needed, that download, that activation, that confidence, that inspiration, whatever it was. So these are timeless, right? Because remember, time doesn't really exist when we're not in, like, you know, human form, right? So these are timeless. The messages are timeless. The energy and beauty that is given across through this video is timeless. So, so it's very relevant for our current time, but don't think that this is like an old video or something if you're watching it and it's a year or two down the road. It still has relevance. There was a reason why you clicked on it, right? Trust your guides, trust the fact that in your intuition that you clicked on this. So anyway, I love you guys, and I hope that you guys are just doing well. So as always, love and light, my friends, now more than ever.